My name is Jeremy Roth-Kushel, and I am a member of We Are Change LA and a 9/11 Truth and Justice activist. Richard Gage has graciously given us a little bit of his time to discuss the recent incidents in Congress with the Simon Wiesenthal Center, where his group was mentioned right next to terrorist groups. And it's disconcerting, to say the least, I imagine. So what we want to do is discuss with Mr. Gage what he's thinking about in terms of a response to Mark Weitzman in the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and then looking at the bigger picture about what his organization is about and where he wants it to be heading this next year. So let me introduce to you Richard Gage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. It's awesome to be with We Are Change. I understand that We Are Change has 26 chapters around the country and the world, and I can't tell you how excited I am to support them. So you have an all-day or part-day presentation at the Subcommittee on Homeland Security hosted by Jane Harman, congressperson, representative. It's entitled Using the Web as a Weapon, the Internet as a Tool for Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism. So we have Mark Weitzman from the Simon Wiesenthal Center for Tolerance in a 5-minute presentation with his PowerPoint showing all of these jihadi websites with militant websites showing how to do violent stuff. And sandwiched in between all of those is Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, a peaceful little website put together by this handful of 220 architects and engineers, professional credential, and by implication, we are being branded as terrorists. Whether he said we're terrorists or not, there's no other reason for him to have included us on his website, on his PowerPoint presentation. We are asking for an apology for having our website on this presentation, and we are clearly asking for a retraction, and that needs to be posted on C-SPAN, on your website prominently, to every member of Congress who was at that presentation and every member who has seen it since. There's absolutely no reason for AE911truth.org to have been in this presentation of yours entitled Using the Web as a Weapon, the Internet as a Tool for Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism, especially with the subtitle over our website, Incubator of 9/11 Conspiracies and Disinformation, and particularly at the exact moment when you stated, soon, 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 the attack on Manhattan. That is libelous, defamatory, and slanderous, and we demand a retraction. What is it that you find so threatening with AE911truth.org? All we're doing is putting out the facts. And I think once you take a look at it, you'll see point by point by point by point, it all adds up. And if you won't meet with us, I think that's quite telling about your intentions in putting our website sandwiched in between the jihadi websites. Because I'll just ask you the question, what was your intention? It's very, very important that you ask yourself that question. Was it there by mistake? I can't come to believe that that's true. Was it there by some intention of the Rand Corporation, perhaps, who's specializing in counterterrorism, and perhaps directing that counterterrorism at the very architects, engineers, scientists, and academicians who were seeking to bring out the facts about the controlled demolitions of all 3 World Trade Center buildings, because that information can't get into the public hands? And is this the first step that you're taking to shut it down? And is it legal? Is it constitutional? Is it American to shut down those who ask questions and demand answers and demand justice, which is all the 9/11 Truth movement is seeking to do, and all architects and engineers are seeking to do? What is being attempted here is to tie science-based organizations such as AE911truth.org to terrorist sites and 9/11 conspiracies and disinformation. Now, all we're showing is the science. There's no doctored videos here. There's no disinformation. Everything we show is backed up and referenced. And had Mark Weitzman looked at our site before he put it up there, he certainly would have seen that that is the case. And he probably would be joining us today if he looked at it, because most all people who really take the time to look at the factual evidence do sign on to the website and say, oh, we got serious problems. Maybe we should have an investigation here. The videos and the photos and the audio witnesses tell the entire story. There's nothing left for doubt once you take a look through the evidence. The problem is getting people to look at the evidence.
What role does an institution such as Simon Wiesenthal Center, what responsibility do they have in terms of fostering dialogue rather than using groupthink and doublethink types of strategies to shut it down and to get people to stop looking at the analysis?
I'll certainly suggest that the Wiesenthal Center for Tolerance has a museum of tolerance, and we would expect nothing less from the center. Tolerance toward science, tolerance toward rational questioning. Tolerance is exceptionally important in America today, and that's why we're asking to meet with you. We want to sit down at the same table and find out what is so threatening about architects and engineers who are asking real questions. And we ask you to support us. We join together in finding out the answers to these questions, as opposed to shutting down the questioner, the website. You've pointed out eloquently that the internet can be used for the wrong purposes, and we applaud you for that. And I think that was a very appropriate hearing. What you've done in the context of that hearing is to frame true patriots, such as the architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, as terrorists. And there's no excuse for that whatsoever. And Americans abhor the attempt and can only consider that there was a cold, calculated strategy that must have been at work in the decision to place this and the other websites that are asking real questions from real patriots in your presentation, using the web as a weapon, the internet as a tool for violent radicalization and homegrown terrorism. What excuse do you have? That's all we're asking. And let's sit down and talk. And if you choose not to sit down and talk with us, my only conclusion is that this brings up some very serious questions about your motivation.